I think she's here. We're definitely not in Vegas anymore. All right, I think we're getting close now. I think it's this one right here. I think they're in Unit 5. There it is. Cool. Aha. Now we're talking.
Morning.
How you doing?
Give me the left.
Yeah.
I did wrong on my left.
It's good to see you again.
This is our small warehouse here.
Nice. Hey. How you doing? Long time no see.
For a long time. Good to see you.
So I was asking, why Carson City?
This is where I live.
Well, for those of you guys who've been watching our 2023 SEMA coverage, you know that we ran into these guys. These guys are ORZ. They're from Germany.
We have ORZ in Germany and started now here with our location in Nevada. We are located in Carson City. This
Carson
is
City?
our US guy.
We're neighbors.
No kidding. Wow. Carson City, of all places.
It's not far from you.
I live in Carson City.
Yeah, great. Then we can make an appointment at the next week to drive it.
I would like to test it out. That'd be great. But as luck would have it, they have this warehouse here in Carson City, of course, where we live. And they were kind enough to invite us to test drive their all-new suspension system for their two-door JL Wrangler. All right, so here's the deal. We're gonna actually be taking this Jeep out for a quick test drive on pavement to get a feel for how it is, how it performs, I should say. And then we'll be heading out to some dirt and testing it out on the rocks. Let's see, I'm a little short. Here we go. Feels smooth. So the biggest thing that they were going after was to take a tall lift like this, especially on a two-door, and make it feel like it's factory. Totally correct all the geometry, front and rear. And so far, I have to say, it's handling pretty well. Drives smooth, it's taking all these little bumps clean. They also focus a lot of their attention on tuning their coils and shocks using, I don't even know what kind of machine it was, but it looked pretty cool. And they were able to dial everything in. Actually, they're still working on it. This is actually like 2.0. They're almost about ready to release it, still fine-tuning it, and they're still so confident that we'll like it. They're allowing us to take it for a test drive. Handles pretty well. Steering feels tight. Handles great. So we were only able to test out that Jeep on pavement for a little bit. Unfortunately, we're up against the gun in terms of time. These guys need to go back down to LA and they're going to fly out to Germany later on this afternoon. So we're going to switch things up and we're going to head down the street to where there's rocks we can play on. And they're going to show off how well it can do in terms of flex and how it performs overall on the dirt. So I'm looking forward to this. Here we are. You're good, perfect. You're settling down. Excellent driving, my friend. It's like you've done this before. Now back to driver. Turn passenger a little bit. There you go. A little bit more. All right, so we just flexed out this Jeep a bit so that we could take a look at the components a little bit better than we did at the showroom floor in SEMA. And some of the things I'm going to point out right away is the fact that they give you these high steer knuckles that you can see here that utilizes the factory tie rod and drag link and gets it all up above the axle tube, bringing also up with it the steering dampener, which is always a cause for concern because everyone smashes that. Obviously, they give you this track bar relocation bracket to keep it in line with the drag link, so you have proper steering geometry. Everything's flat like you would have in stock, giving you great handling. If you come around to the side, you can see the drop brackets that they have here for the front control arms. Of course, they have their custom tuned coils and shocks. These are twin tube shocks that they provide. Old school hydros, but they offer a superior ride for a daily driver especially. Coming around to the back, this is where their kit is different even from something like an AEV kit. They actually have rear geometry correction. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the lower rear control arms, they get actually relocated in their sockets. And then the upper control arms right here, they actually have a bracket to raise it. So the rear control arms are also brought back to a factory setting. They also have the rear track bar relocation bracket. And I don't know what else they've got here. But it's a pretty complete kit, and especially on a two-door of this height, you definitely want to have that kind of correction done to give you a factory-like ride. That was fun watching them crawl those rocks. Now we're going to take it for a test drive just to jam up this hill on dirt roads and see how the suspension feels, because obviously rock crawling is rock crawling is rock crawling. So long as you have the suspension travel, you're going to be able to do it. So let me get this thing started. Let's get back into 4 high. There we go. 4 high. Okay. All right, let's see, get rid of the sway bar disconnect and see what this thing can do. Some small whoops. handles pretty well. Taking on some rough section here. Still feels pretty good. One of the best parts about using factory control arms is that everything is super quiet. Can't believe it. To say overall, the ride quality is surprisingly nice, especially for a two-door as tall as this thing is sitting. Typically the only way you can get a really nice ride like this is with long arms, but of course ORZ is using geometry correction brackets, drop brackets if you will, on the front, and actually brackets that raise the rear. It's kind of a clever design, especially for the rear since nobody else is doing it. Overall, the shocks seem to be holding up pretty well. Very streetable. I wish we had more time testing it out on the street, but unfortunately our time is just about up. Well, I really appreciate you inviting me out and giving me a chance to test drive this thing. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. That was awesome. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Gimp over here.
Eddie,
Thank
take
you.
your time. Thank you very much.
It's a real pleasure. So the verdict? Well, to be honest, they were actually very quick to tell me that their kit is still in its prototype stage. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that earlier. However, they were still confident enough to let us test it out, and I think they were right to do so. The ride quality actually was surprisingly nice, and I think for your average guy, daily driver, weekend warrior, it's definitely a kit worth looking at. If only because they did all that correction to the geometry. Something worth looking at.